Hey guys, how's it going today? It's raining outside, so I can't really do much work outside, so I thought I'd do a video of basically going through the boxes. So it's going to be very similar to the last video, but now I'm taking stock of what I actually have. I bought a book. I will cut that in here in a second. And basically went through, and I understand now what the T20 CA model is supposed to have, what it's not supposed to have, what the T20S, I believe, is the other engine, other lower end I have, is supposed to be. And I've kind of thought about it over this past week and kind of decided how I want to build the bike. So my plans with the bike now are basically, I'm not going to restore it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do very similar to what I did to my CL200. That is, the CL200 I tore completely apart. This bike's already completely apart. I then started with the frame. I cleaned up the frame, polished the frame up, went through, re-greased everything. If something needed replaced, I then replaced it. As long as it was in tolerance, I just reused what I had. Building up on that, the motor, I disassembled that. The 200 motor was completely locked up. This motor is completely disassembled, so I'll go through and put it together, replacing bearings, seals, basically everything, refreshing up the motor. I'm tempted to, if I can find a place to send it out to, have it balanced. Now my T20 CA is supposed to have the 9-to-1 compression piston. With that being said, it's supposed to be the standard cam and that baby Zenith carb that I have, which I think is in this box. There she is, right there. So I might do some upgrades, maybe go with a little bit bigger carb, the R cam instead of the standard cam that I'm supposed to have. I'm not sure what gear ratio I want to run in the bike, because I do plan to use it as its intended purposes of on and off road. I'll probably put knobbier tires on it, much like my 200 has, more closer to trials type tires, because I do drive a lot of dirt roads and I do like to go off on the back roads. I don't drive a lot of blacktop with any of my bikes. Even my bigger street bikes, my 750s, they see a lot more time on the dirt roads just putting around. So I'll go through probably and build it that way. But right now this video is just going to focus on figuring out what I actually have and what I need. I bought a gas tank, since the gas tank I have is chrome and for a chopper and not really for my model, the T20. You'll see that here later in the video. The tank I bought is not the tank that should be on the model of the bike I have. I should have more of the T15 Terrier style tank, but the tanks I found that were that teardrop shape, they were they didn't have the amenities to put on the badging or the knee pads. They were more of the shape and then a sticker on them. So I bought the little bit larger tank, the 3-gallon tank I believe is what it is, and it's more of a humped back. So I'll have a Triumph T20 tank on it, but it won't be for my model. Now that's not going to bug me, because I'll just keep looking for the correct tank and keep this tank so I can have a nice running bike for the time being. So with that being said, let's get started. So in the box that had the electrical stuff and all the odds and ends, there's a seat in there and a backrest or a smaller seat, and then that big chunk of vinyl is actually a big square of it for reupholstering them, which I'm not too worried about, because the seat that's on it I actually have in storage right now. It's kind of a maroon winish color. It looks kind of funky. I'm gonna run with it though, just because it's odd. So something else I found out in the box with the Triumph badges, this little pouch in here is actually gaskets. So that's pretty cool. Whether that's copper ones, either pretty oxidized or used. Not quite sure. Anyways, it could probably be annealed and reused. as long as it's not too jacked up there. It's all sorts of neat. Oh, incomplete. I'm not sure if these are for this bike or not, but we'll see. See how it plays out. I think I have some gaskets. I'll probably end up just buying a complete gasket set and running with that. But I'll have spares as long as these are for this bike. Again, these parts were bought in a trash can, so I have a lot of other random parts in here. Probably not going to put this stuff back in here. I'm just going to put it back in the box. Get rid of this box. Alright. So what else I have found in here is I have more engine parts. So I'm going to move these engine parts over to with the engine stuff. I was worried about not having the little baby distributor, which I have one here. So that's good. That's the start. Kind of a funky little thing. And then I do have a cam, and I'm not sure which cam it is. To be honest, I haven't looked into how to tell the difference on these cams. I have one. This one seems to be... Oh, look. How lucky is that? I think that is the marking for what it's supposed to be, and it is a R cam. So if this cam does look good, it doesn't look like it's worn out, so I may run this. This may be out of the other crankcase, but I got transmission parts in here, so I'll rebag these and put these into the engine box. Because I like to kind of categorize stuff by what I'm going to need, so when I pull one piece out, I know which box it's all in, and I don't have to go through 3 boxes thinking, oh, well, maybe it's in this one. I thought I had it in there. Just a lot easier to be organized about stuff. Have the Zenith carb here. Let me try not to step on all this stuff here. Got my little baby Zenith carb. So, made in France. Shortly after my bike was made, I did read that they put a spacer on these, so I wonder if these had heat issues. But that was like a month later after mine was built. I believe my serial number puts it in like August or September of 58, which is the 59 model year starts in August of 58. So I'm not quite sure what this is. This just looks like home stuff. It is not factory, so I'll be getting that out of there. All right, I will continue on. Here's my little oil pump. I guess they did have overheating issues with these bikes, so I'm not sure if I'm going to worry too much about it. Probably end up making sure it's serviced, making sure it's a-okay. We'll keep diving here. Okay, I got a jar of stuff. Keep hitting the camera with my little scooter. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that is. And I got a ripped bag. This is kind of also why I like to go through and rebag stuff, because old bags do tend to rip, and then you run into a problem where now you got a can full of stuff, and you're not quite sure what was in the can to begin with. Oh, it's stuck. Were they keeping it separate because it was part of something? These look like transmission parts. That's a shifter. I know that. These are more transmission gears. Okay, this is all transmission stuff, and the bag is falling apart. Okay, that's engine. Consider that engine. This can of ripped bag is... Oh, let's see what we got in here. I think these are... I got some push rods in here. There's a little bit of chain down there. It's a filter of some sorts. Whether it be fuel or oil. I did read that some Triumph Tigers had a filter system on them. I got a condenser. Nope. Yeah, it is a condenser. Okay. Well, I got a box of odds and ends here. Alright, we'll continue on. Make my trash pile over there. I have some bits of wire. Trash pile. Pull this thing out. Let me grab that. I'm guessing that is a battery terminal connect. No, this is for a valve stem. It's a valve stem cap. That will get just placed in the random pile. What do we have here? So I got a bag of, oh, that's pretty cool. It's a little Autolite fuse box, but it's got, let's see here. Put it out. Let's see what we got. Little springs, and there is a fuse in there. Huh. Alright, we will continue on. I have a bunch of random gaskets. I got the lower jug gasket there. Valve covers are in here. That looks like it goes to a Honda. This neat spark plug in here. Check this out. Lodge Cliff, made in England. Could that be the original, or is that just a NOS? Doesn't look like it's super used. Maybe I'll run it. It's been put in something because someone's rounded the heck out of that edge of that. So it's cool. It's purple, or kind of pinkish. Got an old light bulb. Like I said, that cap there looks like a Honda. Keep it in there. I'll have to look into actually, I have the print, or the parts list for these bikes. I'll have to dig into that when we get started here. I figured, again, here's another ripped bag. Miscellaneous bolts, springs, another one of those little filters, but this one's ripped. So definitely not usable there. Spilt its contents into this box. We have a rear sprocket, output of the motor, another copper gasket, which is beat to heck. Boy, look at that. All right, I'm gonna set that bag over here nicely. Exhaust, clamp for the head to seal it. They did, later on I read that they did change the head, the angle that the exhaust came out as it, if you forget to put this on and put the motor in, then you have to take the motor back out, I guess. So, something to remember when I get started. Looks like I got another cam and transmission set up, possibly. Let's see what this cam is. I'm not sure what the standard cam is supposed to be. This one is not stamped anywhere, so this may be a standard cam. So, like I said, I always run that R cam if I can. I think this is from, these are the actual parts from the CA motor. As it's, I have a ton of other random stuff in there. Alright, so now that I got this tote box empty, I'm going to set it aside, and we will look at another box here. Alright, new box. It's really picking up on the rain. I'm going to have to go get a new battery here shortly, so if it cuts out, that'll be something. I'm not sure if they ran aluminum fenders or not. I'll keep this on here. So, I believe this is called the nacelle. I will keep this as I plan to use it. This is for Triumph badging, so I'm going to throw it down with the badges, but it's not, I don't think it's for this bike. Alright, so I got a headlight set up here. The hand switch is all jacked up. Put that over here. This stuff will probably get put back in here. This is going to be my electrical and fender. Oh, that's all jacked up. That's for like a... I'm gonna look at my Seal 200. Alright, this is for the top of the headlight. So I'll put that over here with the rest of the fairing. Here's another headlight, a Stanley. This is made in Japan. I'm not sure what this is for. I'll probably run this number, and I probably will. And we will see what that brings up. Maybe it's for a, you know, it might be for like a CL77, I think. Those early Honda Scramblers. That would make sense to where that heat shield came from. So, let me take a picture. Alright, so we got a ring, headlight ring in here for unknown. I don't think this definitely does not go to a motorcycle. It might. Set it aside. I don't think it's for the Triumph. It's taillights. Let's see if we can find a part number on it. Not sure what this goes to. Let's see if it either says Lucas or Stanley. We go from there. Oop, keep hitting the camera. I'm sorry about that. Alright, new battery. We're continuing on here. You guys didn't miss anything because I changed it out quickly. Alright, we got a mystery jar. We got, ooh, look at this little oiler. That's pretty cool. I got springs in here. Random springs. I do not, a key. Miami, Florida. Ooh, shoot. Drop that thing. It's all oily. Perk. It's definitely not goes with this stuff. I think this is just odds and ends from like a garage sale. To be honest, these goofy springs. Clamps. Alright, so this is going to be it. Short of this oiler, I'm going to pull this bad boy out because that's pretty neat. I'm going to put this into the random pile over here. As long as that. Alright, we got a Lucas coil. I'll go in my electrical pile. Actually, probably go back in here. Well, this is definitely not a mirror for a Triumph, as it says Bridgestone. So we're going to set that off into the other pile. We have another taillight setup, and it is a Stanley. So I'm guessing, ooh, that is really jacked up. Someone went to town on that. Alright, let me take a picture of this, and I will figure out what this goes to.